Brilliance Audio presents Conquered by Angel Payne, performed by Aidan Snow. Sam finally, though reluctantly, let up on his hold. While Jen's unthinking little squeak had been the most adorable thing he'd ever heard, her furious blush told him she couldn't be further from agreeing with his assessment. Still, before he pulled away, he allowed his fingertips to feather along the backs of her hands, and his spirit to rejoice in the visible shiver with which she reacted. Which meant he longed to do it again. Right this fucking second. Though next time, he might not stop just there. He'd use his lips along with his fingers, take hers beneath them, using gentle brush strokes at first, until he couldn't resist sweeping his tongue to taste hers, though he already knew what she'd taste like. She'd be warm as whiskey, but sweet as wine, and have him as plastered as if he'd downed a gallon of each. And he wouldn't regret one damned second of it. Not with her. Not with this woman who did so many things to him. Heady, giddy things. Things he never imagined he'd feel again. Because despite being an arrogant bastard, he was also a deeply damaged one. The huddy who didn't believe it when everyone told him this break in the States would be good for him, perhaps even help with his emotional healing. In truth, he'd agreed to come and do the cross-training just to shut everyone up. He'd never expected to admit they were all right. And certainly not within the first hour of his arrival in the middle of this land so foreign it was like another planet, giving him the nectar that had never felt more like home, the elixir of this woman's gaze. The startled light in them torn away from him too fast that first day, not even cognizant of half the magic they held. Not even aware of her true submissiveness. His sweet mouse, awakening every leonine instinct inside him, especially in moments like this, in which he was entranced by her smile but wholly unsure what it meant, forced to delve deeper into the nuances of her quirking lips and twinkling eyes, attempting to determine exactly how her reaction to his comeback was coming along. Because she did have one. Of that he was as certain as a G-force whomp at takeoff. He just wasn't sure if he were about to be throttled or kissed. Never crashed, Captain? Well, there's a first time for everything, you know. And then there was the concept of both. And no, that technically didn't qualify as a kiss, though it wasn't a direct beating either. In a word, it was... Oh, fuck the words. Fuck anything that would cage this incredible, unpredictable little mouse to something as ridiculous as words. She was far more than that. They were already far more than that. This morning he'd flown a jet to the edge of heaven, but not known half of this adrenaline, pulsing and pounding through him, calling like freedom and feeling like fire, all from just being this close to her. And damn, she had to feel the attraction too. Hell, the journey between the hangar and here had shown him how semi-strangers could see and feel it. She had slammed on a hell of a pair of mental blinders about it, but he was preparing to yank 'em off, to fight for the right to, if that was what it took. He'd already laid down his life for much less, on too many occasions than he wanted to remember.